see info session. Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay, that's great. So let's start. So let us introduce ourselves. We are three from the support and onboarding team. So I'm Phidias, the speaker of today, and we have Ludo, the manager of the team.
Hello there. Yeah. And I'm Serge. I'm the support on the health data team.
Okay, let's start. So first of all, so as I said, I'm Phidias, so I give you all information and contact where you can reach me. And for any question about HCV, so feel free to contact me, and I will try to help you accordingly. So the objective of the session of today is to explain you the current data flow of the registry hepatitis, and to explain you the use of HCV regarding this data flow for encode and send follow-up data of patients. So for achieving these objectives, the session will be split in 4 points. First of all, I'm going to shortly introduce health data, and then I will present the HCV data flow, and then the use of the application HDFODP to encode and send the follow-up data. And the last point will be to enable you to ask me questions you have about what I presented or any topic you want to discuss with us today. So what health data is about? It's a national health program which aims to facilitate the health registries management. So for achieving this, the approach we are following is to provide functional support and a technical platform. And the technical platform actually contains this application HDFODP, usable for data collection at data provider sites. In your case, it's typically university hospitals.
Maybe one small remark from my side. This is Ludo. The presentation is in English, but if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them in your own language. We will answer them accordingly. Thank you.
Okay. So the HCV data flows. Initially, we get some data from the application CVAS. So the data contain initially the patient, some patient information and the physician information, and also treatments against hepatitis C. So we extract this data from CVAS, and we have managed to store them and to send them to within your application HDFODP. So that's the initial data flow. So you have submitted data in your local installation, and actually now for the data we send, so typically record of patient, we need you to encode some follow-up data, and typically the follow-up data are PCR results and date of sampling. And that's the purpose of the session of today, is this requirement to explain you how you can typically encode and send follow-up data of patient treated by a specific drug. For using HDFODP, the procedure to follow could you summarize in five points? First of all, you need to request an account, because for using the application, you need an authentication. When you will request an account, your HDFODP administrator, that means people from the IT department, will validate your request, and then you will normally get your credentials, and you can log in the application using them. And when you can log in, you will be able to encode the follow-up data and then send the data toward us. Using HTTP, first of all, you need a link for reaching the login page as displayed. And as example, I use a link. It's the HTTP in the demo environment, but there's a link specific to your organization. So if you don't have it, just ask us. We will manage to ask your HTTP administrator to send you back the link needed to reach HTTP. And when you will have the correct link, you will be able to request an account. For doing it, you just need to click on request account, and then you should see this form. And in this form, you have to specify the username you would like to use for login, the first name, the last name, and you have to make sure about the organization you will select, because it's possible that your HTTP is usable for several sub-organizations within the hospital. So you have to make sure that you will select for requesting account specific to your organization. That's the third check.
One small remark: if you work in your hospital with the same login for different applications, you use the same login name for your request. So your username should be the same, because that means that your hospital works with LDAP, and that means that all your different applications use the same login and password.
Hello? Is it clear this remark? Because it's really important. Huh? If somehow you have to make sure about the naming of we will use for logging, regarding the fact if you use your Microsoft account or not. That's really important. And then a second tip to do is to make sure that you will select HCV just by typing HCV in the field, because the application is used for several registries, and you are actually with only HCV.
Weet hij van die healthcare dinges? Nee?
Ik zal die
ondertussen. Oei.
Hello? Sorry? Could you repeat, please? Hello? Okay. So please make sure to select the correct data collection. So HCV in that case, it's really important. And then when you will get your credential, you should be able to log in and encode follow-up data. So the question now is to know, how can I encode follow-up data? So you should see this view.
Dat is een meeting en ik weet niet of hij even tijd hebt om dat te volgen. Dat is die, dus vanuit RISIF, we hebben er al een keer over gesproken. Moeten we, of is er een vraag om die HCV behandelde patiënten te registreren?
Ja.
Tot nu toe is dat altijd zo geweest dat we het initiatief bij hen lagen en dat we een mail zouden krijgen als we dat zouden moeten doen. Er is één arts die dat tot nu toe al gedaan heeft en dat is...
Het gesprek dat er nu plaatsvindt, is dat voor ons bestemd of is dat intern?
Ja, dat hij daar telkens mails voor krijgt per patiënt.
Hallo?
Dan is een bal aan het rollen gegaan, want in principe was het zo dat al de...
Ik ga even iedereen op mute zetten. Als u zelf iets wil zeggen, dan kan u unmuten. Maar op die manier...
nu hebben we een mail gehad voor een webconferentie. En ik denk dat andere artsen dat ook hebben gehad. Nu, ik zie dat Louisa dan niet aan het volgen is. En dat Sven en Peter zijn denk ik volgens mij les aan het volgen.
Weet je?
Hallo?
Hallo.
Hallo, met Luc Harlet hier, AZ Delta. Wij hebben geen audio meer. Kan dat?
Ik denk dat ze iedereen gemute hebben, maar ook hun eigen stem.
Ja,
dokter.
ik denk het ook. Denk het ook.
Ja.
Horen jullie ons terug?
Nu horen
Ja.
we jullie terug, ja, maar jullie waren eventjes weg.
Okay.
Kun je terug beginnen vanaf encode?
Yeah, sure. No problem. So, encode follow-up data. What is about? It's focused on record where you have a status follow-up needed. That means that's typically the data extracted from CVARs. So I put some records in purpose to see that you shouldn't trade records with status open. Only records with status follow-up needed.
If I may have a small remark, because I don't think that the general flow is already very clear for all of us. So the idea behind this is that this HCV, the medication that you are giving, there is the need for the RISIF to give a reimbursement for this kind of medication. And the reason why this registry is being set up is that the RISIF is requesting a follow-up after 3 and 12 months to make sure that the medication that you're prescribing is giving the result that is desired. And that will be the basis then for the RISIF or INAMI to give reimbursement for these medications. So follow-up typically a 3 months after period follow-up, where you need to make sure that the hepatitis is not present anymore with the patient. So that's the general flow, and that's why these registrations are in a status follow-up needed as of a certain moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so from this, you can select one record just by clicking on it, and one record is typically one patient treated by a specific medication. And you click, and as said Ludo, it's typically 3 months after end of treatment, and you can encode the follow-up data. So typically, that's a viral RNA for hepatitis, positive, negative, or unknown, and the date of sampling. And that's the needful to fill it in 2 fields, as I show. So positive, the date of sampling, and then you have to save your encoding. And when the encoding will be saved, you should see this is a temporary screen which means that the application is saving your record. And when the record will be saved, it can be resubmitted because we have submitted it the first time. And just by clicking on resubmit, you should see this screen submitting for review. So it's submitting toward us. And then if everything will go well, after the sending status, you should see the status submitted. That means for a specific record, after encoding, you will have sent it and you should receive it. And that's what I would say the job will be done. And that's actually the action we need you to do for typically the patient registration you have received on your application HD for DP. For more information about the use, we maintain functional documentation about HD4DP. For any support request, please email to this mail address and show you that will create a case, and we will react accordingly and will make our best to fix it as soon as possible. And for this session, we are already put available some artifacts about the session, the presentation I've given. The video of this session will be also available on this website, and feel free to consult the video again. And I hope you understood the needful, and that's now time for your questions and remarks.
Maybe from my side, still one tip that may be useful for you. If you have in your hospital a lot of patients with HCV treatment and a lot of doctors participating in it, you can use the filter to look at the status follow-up needed. And you can also search registrations where you put in, for example, your name as doctor, so that there you will have your registrations where you need to follow. Any other questions?
Any other question? Is it crystal clear? Do you have still questions? Do you want more information?
Yes. Typically, how many times it takes to obtain the account details to enter the system? Because I made the request yesterday. I don't know how many times.
That's that change regarding the organization. I would say that could take 1 hour, or that depends on your IT department. But if
then I should contact my IT department about this.
In your case, you are from CH Liège, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
You should contact Stéphanie Leroy.
Mm-hmm.
And try to speed up the process. But I can answer really, a delay to get it. That depends of the organization.
But okay, I need to contact her. Okay, thank you.
User management is typically in your organization where there is a specific HCV4DP administrator. So when you do a request of an account, he or she will receive an email, and then he or she needs to react upon it. But of course, we cannot.
Yeah, but it's internal in the hospital. It's not your part of the work. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other question?
Look, Harlet, as I told, are all the patients registered now in this program? Starting from 2015, 2014, when we started to do the application via Chapter 4?
Typically, I can guarantee it. We used to.
Yeah, we will come back on it. It's a very valid question, but I'm not sure what the exact response is. But we will look into it, and we will put the answer also on the support page that we have created.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
A new question?
No questions from my side.
So I assume it's clear?
Yes, everything was clear. I already have my account, so.
Super.
Great. So if there's no more questions, we are going to end the session. If you don't mind.
No. Okay.
It's okay for me.
Thanks a lot.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.